Welcome to the Shout Out with Sage show. Shout Out with Sage.
Shout me out.
And that's all I gotta say. So shout out and let's go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sage Stevens. Welcome to Streaminn HUBB Radio, and I am the host of Shout Out with Sage. So today, I would like to welcome a singer, a songwriter who originally hails from Tampa, Florida. She's now living in LA, and she describes herself as the love child of Amy Winehouse and Janis Joplin. And I want to welcome to the show today, VELLA. Hey, VELLA, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for being here. How did you start singing? What made you want to be a singer?
Well, I first started when I was probably 6 or 7. My dad, he's a musician, so he would normally play the piano at our house and stuff, and would just play a little something. And then sometimes I would just join him and I would sing along. Mm-hmm. And just then and there, I was like, okay, I really want to do this for a living.
Right.
But yeah, that's how I started. And then after that, I wanted to show who I am as a singer. So I decided to be a part of this singing and dance group back in Tampa. They were called Entertainment Review. They did singing and dancing. And I was a part of that for 9 years. And it really helped me as a singer and a performer. And
it helped you develop your craft and be on stage and get used to the audience and everything.
Yes, we would perform around Tampa. We would do shows. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they truly helped me, especially with stage presence, because that's so important, you know.
Do you have a problem? Were you nervous at first when you were up there on your own, or you were just watch me?
Oh no, I remember when I was little, because we had a beach house back in Tampa, and I would just walk around at the beach, and I would just go to a group and be like, hey, my name is Gabrielle Valdez. This is what I can do. And I would sing out of nowhere, and then my parents would be like, where is she? And they would just see me dancing in front of random strangers and stuff, and they'd be like, what is she doing? So when I
so you always wanted to be on stage and have people watch you perform, basically. Yeah. So you started young, very young.
Very young.
What inspires you? So do you write your own music, or do you use other people are writing for you? How does that work?
At first, when I got signed to a label, which they're called Level Music, at first they gave me songs to sing at first, but then I realized I'm hey, I want to write my own stuff. I don't want to be a puppet. I want to write my own stuff and create stuff, you know. And I just decided doing that more recently, probably 2 years ago.
Was that difficult, or that was just sort of natural for you to write? Because that's a different, creative process than being a singer. So
at first it was hard, but I felt I got used to it a bit by just practicing more and
you're doing it. Yeah.
Just doing it all the time, just writing stuff randomly, in my notes and stuff, just seeing what works best, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you write about? Is it more your personal life, or things you see, a mixture of both?
Definitely about my personal life. I have an album that's coming out on Friday, and mostly all the songs on there are basically about my past relationships and the stuff that I've went through, and I wanted people to relate to these songs, you know. So I was you know what, why not just share my personal experience with relationships.
And so what were some of those experiences like?
Terrible, but you know what, make such great stuff out of that type of
yes
situation. stuff, which is great. That's what I love about music is
Mm.
even though, like, for example, you go through like a breakup, like you
Mm.
have so much stuff to write down, you know?
Mm.
Like after my like my recent relationship, it went not very good.
Sideways.
Went very sideways. And you know what? I was like, right when the breakup happened, I flew out to LA and I was like, you know what? We're gonna write a song about it. So I went straight to the recording studio, wrote a song about basically everything that happened. And that's what I
Here you
did.
are.
Yeah.
And how many songs is on your album that you're releasing?
12.
12. And you wrote all of those?
I wrote some.
Right.
But there's some that people have written for
Right.
me.
Which is usually the process, right?
Yes.
How does that work? How do you find it easy to work with other people? Do you find it difficult, or
I feel
it's a
like
collaborative thing?
I feel like it's so much easier to work with people because you get different type of ideas and stuff, and you get to like feed off of those ideas. And I feel like it's just so much faster and easier, you know. And yeah, like I love it way better than working. I love working with people more, honestly, because I just love.
You like the team well, like, it's not all you with all that pressure on you to do everything. And
Yeah.
plus brainstorming, I'm sure, is a good, as I'm a writer, so not a music, but like, when you get to, talk to other people about your ideas, it's always very helpful.
Yeah.
So you've toured with some people, I hear. Who have you toured with so far?
Yes, I've toured. I opened for Beth Hart a while back. It was so much fun. I had like a blast. Yeah, like I remember Beth Hart reached out to me on TikTok because
Okay.
that found me. And she was like, "Hey, I absolutely love your voice. I would love for you to open for like
Wow.
two shows that I'm doing." And it's so funny because it was one of the shows was at like my hometown in Florida, which was
that's
super
great.
cool.
Yeah.
But she was such a sweetheart. Like after I went off stage, like she gave me like this like the advice.
Mm-hmm. And what was, I mean, you don't have to like totally tell us all the advice, but was it helpful advice, or
yeah,
was it stuff like that definitely would help you, guide you in your career as a singer?
For sure.
What's actually been the most difficult thing for you so far as a singer going down this path?
One of the most difficult things is probably the social media side, because right now it is so important to like keep posting and posting and posting. It's so important because like social media is so big right now, and that's how people get noticed. Like right now, like TikTok, I can name like a few of like my friends that like their songs would go viral and they would be like on like billboards and stuff. And they were on TikTok. Like people would like pull up that stuff from TikTok, which is crazy. So that's why you have to be more consistent on like social media. And to be honest, it's just been sometimes like hard, because like I'm a singer, I'm not an influencer,
right?
So like you have to do that, like be like a somewhat like influencer.
Right. Well, it's like two jobs, really. Like you're doing your singer songwriter, and then you're doing all your social media stuff, and they do go hand in hand, but they're also two very different things. So yeah.
And like sometimes it can be like so overwhelming, but honestly, like I got used to it a little bit. Like at first it was like crazy, but like now I've gotten like somewhat used to it, but like I still have a lot more coming, so it's gonna be crazy.
You'll have stuff. Do you find it hard then to find content then to post? Was that your original problem with social media?
Yes, like I didn't have a problem with like covers because sometimes I would do covers for like content, but like stuff like other than that was hard for me to find. Because sometimes on like TikTok and social media, I wanted to show more of my personality, so I decided to post more stuff
Like,
like
yeah,
that.
just you doing maybe regular things versus
Yeah,
being like being a professional singer or something, right? So
yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's been difficult. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because like it's just like such a different ball game when it comes to social media.
right.
So
Do you
yeah,
have a team now then that helps you with all that?
yes, they're very helpful.
I'm sure everyone needs a team.
Yes.
Are there any other areas that you're creative in other than music?
I absolutely love. I mean, I love dancing. I mean,
Mm,
that's what I love,
right,
but I do that like for like myself. Like I don't like post about it, but like just stuff like for
right,
myself.
right.
Um, but that's probably basically it.
Mm.
But yeah,
Mm. What's the what do you like the most about being a singer?
definitely performing, because I absolutely love performing. And another thing is creating music and like going to the studio. Studio and performing are definitely my two favorite things about this.
Mm,
Because like in Tampa, where I'm from, like the thing is with Tampa, it's not very much of like a music type place,
right.
you know. And when I first moved out here, I was able to do that stuff, you know, and be more creative with my own stuff, and performing.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, I ever since I moved here, I've just been so creative with like music, singing, performing, everything.
So with LA, you find it more of an avenue for you to be creative. What other differences or similarities do you see between like Tampa and LA? Was it a hard move for you at the beginning or?
Oh, for sure it was, because
Mm,
I have a lot of friends and family over there.
mm.
And I had to move when I was I think a junior in high school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah, so doing that was really, really hard, because I had to leave my friends, my family, and I
mm,
was like in the middle of like almost being a senior. So I would
yeah,
have graduated, but I couldn't because
right. You had the move.
I mean I wish I was able to graduate with my family, like with my friends.
Right.
I have to do my music.
Right. Well, I mean, if it's that important to you, yes, you're gonna go like after your goals and after your dreams and all that.
Hmm.
What have you experienced any like with social media and everything? There's a lot of bullying and stuff that happens these days. Have you experienced any of that? And how did you deal with it?
Oh yeah, like I dealt with in person and online.
Mm,
I um, remember when I was doing a tour last year, like I would be like grabbed and stuff, and like it
mm.
was crazy. Like people like are sometimes
A little too friendly.
a little too friendly. Like I'm some little bit. Uh, but um, but I had to deal with that, which was very weird, because like I was very sheltered when
Mm,
I like as like a kid, like especially in Tampa. So like
mm.
when I did that tour and like stuff that would happen like that, I'm like, oh my god, like I have to deal with this stuff, like
Right.
you know, like that's crazy, you know, and with online too. Honestly, like I would get hate, but like honestly, I really don't care about those like hate comments.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
just like people are gonna hate either way,
Right.
like no matter how good you are. So I'm like,
Right.
whatever.
That I mean, there's always jealous people
Oh yeah.
whether you're on social media or not. There are people that are more than willing to make your life difficult. So,
Hmm.
um where what's your guidance in that and how to deal with like let's say bullying or if anyone's like making they don't like what you wear or how you look, how do you cope with that? You just ignore them
Oh,
or
ignore it.
they're yeah just you just let it go and just move on and that's a great thing That's a great thing to have. Who else has inspired you? Has there been anyone in your career that's definitely so far that's helped you with getting to where you are right now?
I definitely will have to say my dad,
Mm.
my little so-called little manager. He's been my little manager all my life. So
Right. I've met your father, so I know.
but yeah, like he definitely influenced me,
Mm.
like especially as an artist today, because he introduced me to like classic rock, blues, that type of music as a kid, and like I feel like without that, like I wouldn't be the artist that I am today, you know. And I thank him for that, because like he gave me an outlet with that type of music.
Right.
And ever since I moved out here, he's been helping me out with like the management and making sure that there's no bad people coming in my life.
Right. That's
Making
really
sure
important.
everything's secured. Everything's all good, all coolio. But yeah, he's been helping a lot with this whole career, and I'm really grateful for him. So yeah.
That's great. So where do you plan on going? What are your goals for the future, let's say?
So my goal is to definitely write way more music, more music, more music. Don't mind that.
That's all right. It happens.
Super loud. Definitely, I want to do a little tour, because I miss performing like everywhere. I just love that. And possibly one of my songs going viral. So yeah.
Cool.
Please
Sounds
stay
like a good plan.
there. Yeah.
So you said you were going to play us a couple songs today,
Yes.
maybe if we're lucky.
Yes.
So if you want to go ahead, I guess now would probably be a good time. So
So I want to introduce the guitarist Adrienne.
hello, hi, how are you? Thanks for helping out today.
Of course, happy to be here.
All right, so we're gonna do two of the songs from the album.
Cool.
One
Can
is
is there any way to get you both in the screen?
Oh, yeah.
Or just, we might as well see them as well. There we go. Thank you.
all right. This one is Out of Control.
Cool. Thanks.
Behind your mask, I know you got secrets. What are you hiding? You treat me so bad, not giving me nothing. Let me make this clear. If you don't know what you got right here, baby, this ain't going anywhere. 'Cause it seems like you can't figure it out. Why did you come to hear me? Oh, why can't I let these feelings go? Stuck in this cycle, it feels like, oh, you got me spiraling out of control. Saw that red flag, thought I knew better. What was I thinking? No turning back, the spell has been broken. Watch me disappear if you don't know what you got right here. Baby, this ain't going anywhere. 'Cause it seems like you can't figure it Yeah, babe, you made a mess of it. No, I can't help you fix it, baby. Why did you have to leave me on? Why can't I let these feelings go? Stuck in this cycle, it feels like, oh, you got me spiraling out of control. Why did you have to leave me on? Why can't I let these feelings go? Stuck in this cycle, it feels like, oh, you got me spiraling out of control.
Woo! That was awesome. What was the name of that song?
Out of control.
Out of control. Cool.
Mhm.
And when did you write that song, or how long has it been in your repertoire?
So it was the very first song that we did for the album.
Mm.
At first, it was going to be a more like bluesy type rock song.
Okay.
But at the time, we were like, hey, we want to switch up your style a bit, you know? And I was like, okay, like, let's do that. Let's try it, you know?
Right.
And so we somewhat like modernized it a bit, and that's
what happened, what was created. No, it's amazing. It's a great song.
Thank you very much.
So back to the questions. So with coming to LA, what would your advice be to someone who wanted, to come out here and pursue the path, be a singer and do that journey? What would your biggest advice be to them?
Definitely be careful, like, on who to trust, because you never know what's gonna happen. Definitely, that's a big thing that I had to realize, because there's definitely gonna be people that's gonna double cross you. I definitely had a lot of people in the industry, especially with Violet, like, it's no joke.
Like they might say one thing to you but do something else, or they were like jealous, or what? Like, you don't have to get into like major details, but just like an example of maybe something.
Just like, let's just like money type stuff, like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's sometimes all about the money with some people, and I just, like, it's just like, you just have to be careful with those type of things, but yeah, definitely that, and just let the creative juices flow here, because you're in LA. Definitely in LA. It's the perfect place to do
it. Definitely. And so that's like a tip. Do you have any other advice for anyone wanting to move to LA? Or not necessarily move to LA, maybe just pursue their their creative, whether it be a singer or an actor or something. What did you have any fear about that, or you just were like, I'm gonna go be a singer?
No, I'm gonna go to be a singer. Like, I was like pushing on through. I was like, I'm gonna do this. This is my dream, and I want to pursue it. So
you're pretty set at an early age. Well, that's a great thing.
Very pretty set. So yeah.
Cool. And you said that you had a second song for us today?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
This one is called Happiness.
Happiness. Okay.
Easy come, easy go. Don't take it personal. I'm not the one for you, take it from me. Too much to figure out, just gonna weigh me down. Sorry to leave you now, but I gotta breathe. See, you're no part of my evolution. It's time to make a new resolution. Yeah, I'm moving on, getting around. I don't know what's happening. I'm shaking up like a rolling stone. I've gotta find my happiness. It's time to cut the string. This ain't the life for me. I've got much bigger dreams, we're not the same. Guess I'm a single type. I go after what I like. And I won't apologize for living my life. See, you're no part of my evolution. It's time to make a new resolution. Yeah, I'm moving on, hitting around. I don't know what's happening next. I'm taking up like a rolling stone. I gotta find my happiness. Oh, I'm moving on, I'm moving on. I'm taking off, I'm taking off. No, no. I'm moving on, getting around. I don't know what's happening next. I'm taking off like a rolling stone. I gotta find my happiness. Oh,
Woo! Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for performing for us today. It was great.
Of course, of course.
Yes, thanks. Well, let's go back to, so you were saying that Beth Hart gave you some advice. And was there any other advice that you received along the way that was really, pivotal to you, or that you needed to hear at the right time?
Definitely with the new route we were going for, with the changing the new style for me. Like at first I was really scared at first, because I was so used to rock and blues and stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And turning to like more modernized like type stuff, it was scary. And like my dad was like, listen, you just have to push through. Like right now, just focus on what you have to do right now. And right now, like we need to focus on being like on the radio, and then later on you can do your rock and blues for sure. Later on. But right now we have to switch it up, because right now, like, you have to be like more like modern when it comes to like music, like
Be versatile and
it's things that we like have to, but like I have to reach my age audience,
Right.
But later on for sure.
Yeah. Well, you can also, have a bunch of, have different songs that are, once you get going and have a following, I'm sure you can,
for sure,
segue a little bit here and there. So, well, when does your album come out again?
Tomorrow.
Ooh, congratulations. And so where will people be able to get that?
They can get it on iTunes, Spotify, all platforms, but it will be out on Friday. So
Okay. And it's VELLA. And what's the name of your album?
VELLA.
Okay, VELLA. Okay, easy to remember. And how do we find you on social media?
You can find me at VELLA Sings.
Mm.
On TikTok, just search up VELLA and I'll pop up.
Mm.
But yeah.
Yeah, cool. Is there anything else you would like to say before we wrap up?
I'm good.
You're good. Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us today on Shout Out with Sage on Streaminn HUBB Radio.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks. And thanks for your performance. It was great. And I can't wait to see where you end up in, the next few years. So see you on the Grammy stage, holding some stuff.
Yes.
Yes. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks, VELLA. It was so great to have you here today. And I will see you soon, I'm sure.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Streaminn HUBB Radio. I'm Sage Stevens, and I will see you next Wednesday at 4.